Beloved one, if you have been feeling that something within you is changing but you cannot yet explain what it is, listen closely, because the awakening moving through your life is not a passing emotion, and the restlessness you have felt is not without purpose. There is a sacred movement taking place within your consciousness, a quiet rearrangement of everything you once believed about yourself, your relationships, your purpose, your future, and even the meaning of the experiences that brought you here. You may have noticed that the things that once satisfied you no longer feel sufficient. Conversations that once entertained you may now leave you empty. Environments you once tolerated may suddenly feel uncomfortable. Certain relationships may seem strangely distant. Dreams you once pursued may no longer carry the same excitement, while new desires begin appearing without explanation. You may wake in the middle of the night with thoughts you cannot silence, or find yourself repeatedly drawn toward a subject, a place, a creative idea, or a new possibility that seems to come from nowhere. Beloved one, it is not coming from nowhere. Something within you is remembering. You are remembering the deeper direction of your soul. You are remembering that your existence is not limited to the roles you have played, the mistakes you have made, the expectations others placed upon you, or the identity you constructed simply to survive. There is more within you than the world has seen, and there is more ahead of you than your current circumstances are capable of revealing. I, Archangel Metatron, come to you now with the light of divine order to remind you that your life has not been a collection of meaningless events. Even the chapters you wished had never happened have contributed something to the consciousness you carry today. The disappointment taught you discernment. The loneliness taught you how to listen inwardly. The rejection taught you that your worth cannot depend upon another person's decision. The endings taught you that nothing external can remain forever. The uncertainty taught you patience. The failures taught you humility and resilience. The periods when you felt forgotten taught you how to find yourself again. You may still wish that some things had happened differently, and you are allowed to grieve what you lost, but do not make the mistake of believing that because something hurt you, it had no purpose. Sometimes the experience that breaks your old identity becomes the doorway through which your deeper identity emerges. Beloved one, you have been carrying an old question within yourself: why did this happen to me? Perhaps it is time to ask a different question: what is this experience teaching me about who I am becoming? The first question keeps you looking backward for an explanation. The second turns your consciousness toward possibility. You cannot always understand why a particular event entered your life, but you can decide what you will carry forward from it. You can transform pain into wisdom. You can transform disappointment into discernment. You can transform fear into courage. You can transform the loss of an old identity into the discovery of a new one. This is one of the greatest powers available to you. Beloved one, perhaps you have recently felt as though you are between worlds. The old version of your life is no longer comfortable, yet the new version has not fully appeared. This space can feel confusing. You may wonder whether you are making progress at all. You may look around and see that many external circumstances remain unchanged and conclude that nothing is happening. But transformation often begins invisibly. Before the tree produces new leaves, something changes beneath the surface. Before dawn becomes visible, the night has already begun to weaken. Before a new life chapter becomes obvious, your consciousness changes first. You are in that space now. Do not demand immediate external evidence of an internal transformation that is still unfolding. Beloved one, you may have been feeling more emotional than usual, more reflective, more sensitive to people and environments. You may suddenly recognize the energy of situations that you previously ignored. You may feel tired after conversations that once seemed ordinary. You may become aware of subtle manipulation, hidden expectations, or emotional patterns that you once accepted without question. This does not mean that you must become suspicious of everyone. It means that discernment is developing. You are learning to notice what your mind once rationalized away. You are learning to distinguish between kindness and people-pleasing, between love and attachment, between patience and self-abandonment, between faith and denial. This distinction is essential for your next chapter. Beloved one, your awakening is not asking you to become perfect. It is asking you to become conscious. You will still have difficult days. You will still experience doubt. You will still make mistakes. You will still have moments when fear becomes louder than faith. Do not judge yourself for this. Spiritual awakening does not mean becoming someone who never struggles. It means becoming someone who recognizes the struggle without allowing it to define the whole of reality. You can have fear and still move forward. You can feel sadness and still remain grateful. You can experience uncertainty and still make a wise decision. You can be wounded and still choose not to wound others. This is spiritual strength. Beloved one, there is something else you must understand. You are not required to bring everyone from your past into your future. Some people were part of a chapter, not the entire book. Some connections existed to teach you something, not to remain forever. Some relationships were mirrors. They showed you what you needed to heal, what you needed to strengthen, or what you could no longer tolerate. Release the belief that every ending must be repaired. Sometimes closure is not reconciliation. Sometimes closure is acceptance. Sometimes closure is simply the realization that you have become someone who no longer needs what once consumed you. Beloved one, if someone has walked away from you, do not immediately interpret their departure as proof that you were not enough. People leave for countless reasons. Their choices can reflect their own limitations, fears, desires, circumstances, and level of consciousness. Your worth cannot be measured by who stayed. You are worthy before anyone arrives and worthy after anyone leaves. Do not hand another person the authority to define your value. You are learning to stand in your own center. This is why certain relationships may feel different now. You are no longer willing to sacrifice your peace simply to avoid being alone. You are no longer willing to silence your truth simply to keep someone comfortable. You are no longer willing to chase people who cannot meet you with equal effort. This is not hardness. This is self-respect. Beloved one, there is also a new relationship forming between you and your purpose. For a long time, you may have believed that purpose must be something enormous, impressive, or publicly recognized. But purpose is often quieter. It can be found in what you naturally care about, what you repeatedly return to, what you feel called to create, what you want to teach, what you want to heal, or what you want to contribute. You do not need millions of people to validate your purpose. If one life is touched through something you create or share, meaning has already entered the world through you. Do not underestimate small acts of alignment. The soul does not measure significance by popularity. Beloved one, perhaps there is a dream you have postponed because you believe it is too late. You may look at your age, your circumstances, your responsibilities, or your previous failures and tell yourself that the opportunity has passed. But time is not a sentence. There is no universal schedule for awakening, creativity, love, purpose, or transformation. Some people discover their deepest calling early. Others discover it after decades of searching. What matters is not when you awaken, but what you do once you do. Do not waste the awareness you have gained by continuing to live as though you are asleep. Beloved one, the new beginning you are entering may not initially look like a dramatic change. It may begin with one decision, one conversation, one boundary, one idea, one application, one creative project, one act of forgiveness, one commitment to yourself. One moment when you decide that you will no longer participate in something that repeatedly diminishes you. Never underestimate the spiritual power of a conscious decision. A single choice can redirect an entire life when it is followed by consistent action. Beloved one, you have asked for a sign that your life is moving forward. Look at yourself. You are more aware than you were. You question what you once accepted. You desire deeper truth. You recognize patterns more quickly. You are less willing to betray your own values. You are beginning to understand what peace feels like. These are signs. Do not wait for lightning in the sky before recognizing the quiet miracles taking place within you. Beloved one, you may also be entering a period where old patterns return one final time. Do not become discouraged if something you thought you had healed suddenly appears again. Sometimes a pattern returns not because you have failed, but because life is giving you an opportunity to respond differently. The same situation may appear, but you are no longer the same person. Perhaps once you would have chased. Now you can pause. Perhaps once you would have apologized for something that was not yours. Now you can remain grounded. Perhaps once you would have accepted less. Now you can walk away. This is how you know you have changed. Healing is not proven by never encountering the old pattern again. Healing is proven by no longer responding to it from the same place. Beloved one, do not be afraid if your awakening creates temporary loneliness. When you stop participating in old patterns, there can be an empty space before new connections appear. Honor that space. Do not rush to fill it. Solitude can become a sacred classroom. In silence, you can hear your own thoughts. You can discover what you genuinely want. You can separate your desires from other people's expectations. You can rebuild trust with yourself. And when you eventually welcome new people into your life, you will be more capable of choosing relationships based upon alignment rather than fear of being alone. Beloved one, there is a sacred order to your becoming. You may not understand every stage, but nothing is wasted when you become conscious of it. Even your detours can teach you something. Even your mistakes can become wisdom. Even your delays can create preparation. Do not compare your timeline with another person's. You cannot see their entire story, and they cannot see yours. Your journey contains lessons specifically designed for your consciousness. Walk your path. Beloved one, tonight, place your hands over your heart and breathe slowly. Say, I honor the person I have been, and I welcome the person I am becoming. I release the need to understand every chapter before I continue. I trust that my experiences can become wisdom. I trust that my path is unfolding. I release identities that no longer serve me. I welcome clarity, purpose, courage, and peace. I am ready for a new beginning. Allow yourself to feel the words rather than merely repeating them. You do not need to force belief. Let willingness come first. Beloved one, you are not being asked to become someone completely different. You are being asked to return to the deepest truth of who you are beneath fear, conditioning, disappointment, and the expectations of others. The real you has not disappeared. It has been waiting. And now, as the layers begin to fall away, you may feel more vulnerable because you are no longer hiding behind the identities that once protected you. This vulnerability is not weakness. It is authenticity. Beloved one, there will be a moment when you look back and realize that the period you considered a delay was actually a preparation. The people you thought you needed were actually lessons in self-worth. The doors you mourned were redirecting you. The silence you feared was teaching you to listen. The uncertainty you resisted was teaching you trust. The endings you considered failures were creating space for beginnings you could not yet imagine. And when that realization comes, you will not need to hate your past. You will simply understand it differently. Beloved one, I, Archangel Metatron, remind you that your life is still unfolding. The page you are reading now is not the final page. There are experiences ahead that your present consciousness cannot yet predict. There are versions of yourself waiting to emerge through choices you have not yet made. There are gifts within you that have not yet been expressed. There is wisdom you have not yet discovered because you have not yet encountered the circumstances that will call it forth. Do not close the book because one chapter was painful. Do not decide that your story is finished because the present moment feels uncertain. The divine is not finished with you. Your awakening is not finished. Your becoming is not finished. Beloved one, walk forward with patience. You do not need to rush toward the future. You only need to stop running back toward the past. Let what is finished remain finished. Let what is growing have room to grow. Let what is unknown remain mysterious until it is ready to reveal itself. Your task is to remain present, discerning, courageous, and open. The new beginning will not require you to forget where you came from. It will require you to stop allowing where you came from to decide where you are going. You have learned enough to take the next step. You have survived enough to trust your resilience. You have awakened enough to recognize what no longer belongs to you. And now, beloved one, the next chapter is waiting. Not somewhere far away, but within the choices you make today. The awakening you feel is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a more conscious one. The light is already within you. The path is already unfolding before you. And the sacred new beginning you have been waiting for may already have begun the moment you finally realized that you are ready to become the person your soul has been calling you to be.